I can honestly sit here and tell you, like, I would not be in the position I'm in without my partner in the office.
Duayne, lots of builders who run family businesses, they will often start out as the builder on their own, and then as their business grows, they start to need administrative support. And it can be common for their partner to get involved, and it might be because their partner is at home with the kids and sees their builder husband struggling and wants to help out and support them. It might make sense because it's a family business that everybody just gets involved and starts to sort of work out how they're going to best run the business. It might be done for affordability as well because they can't feel that they can afford to pay an admin person. But we see this happening. We work with a lot of builders whose partners are involved in the business. And you, of course, have your wife involved in DP's constructions as well. What do you see are the biggest mistakes that builders make when their partners are in the business, in how they're running their business overall?
Definitely the biggest mistake we made was not paying my wife. And like looking back now, it's just so funny. Like we actually had conversations about it. Like long story short, my wife come into the business when she was on maternity leave with a second child. We thought it was a good decision to make, and we actually had discussions about this is going to put us ahead of other builders. Like we won't have to pay you. Like we'll
get a competitive edge. Yeah,
we're going to get a competitive edge. Like this is going to be awesome. But like I just can't believe how wrong we got it, because like looking back now, like that was a really, really poor move. And for multiple reasons. Like number one, it plays on your mental health. Like how would you feel? Like I think to myself now, like how would I feel working in a business, taking on enormous stress, being thrown in the deep end for the start, that like didn't know anything about the construction industry, and not getting paid? Like who else is going to do that?
Yeah.
So yeah, you've really got to put a value on their time and pay them for the role they play. And I think this is the next really important part of this. Like so many builders would be in that position where they're going to think they're getting a competitive edge because their wife's free. Like they're part of the business. They'll do it for free. They'll do whatever hours I want. They'll help me out with all my rubbish. So when that couldn't be more wrong. Like it doesn't matter whether they're your wife. At some point in time, there might be a point in time where your wife finds another interest and they want to pursue their own career or their own business or who knows what it is. So whether it's that or a normal employee that leaves, it's no different. Like you have to replace the person. So paying your wife for the role that she's playing, whether that's a general admin or she might be doing everything, accounts, contracts, everything. She might be more of a project manager. You need to pay a salary for the role that she is playing that you would have to pay if you were to get another employee in. And
that just builds in longevity for your business, doesn't it? It just builds in that capacity that should anything happen or the structure change, you will still be able to afford to run your business and have that role filled by somebody else.
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, it is an overhead to your business. All businesses overheads, and it's why we deal with it so much with our members and we really drum it into them. Like you have to know your running costs and your overheads, and whether you've got your wife, your partner, auntie, uncle, girlfriend, whoever it may be in your business, that is an overhead to your business. And you've got to understand that you've got to put a value on them. Like honestly, how bad would someone feel if they're sitting there dealing with all the stuff that a building business has to deal with and they're not getting paid for it? So number one mistake we made was just not valuing the role that my wife was playing, not valuing her time. And when I look back now, I'm quite disgusted at myself and us for making that decision. But
I think too, a lot of builders can also, they can have been really struggling with the running of their business. Finally, their partner steps in and says, okay, I'll help out, let me sort of take some of these things on. And they then just start chucking them in the deep end and giving them all the stuff that they either find difficult to do, find they don't have the time to do, or actually aren't interested in doing, and not giving them the support or the opportunity to learn how to do those things, and particularly if their partner's never been involved in the construction industry, that can be completely overwhelming for the partner and mean that there's a lot of stress caused because they're trying to get on top of understanding, what's going on with the business, what are all of these processes, how do these need to be performed legally, financially, all of those kinds of things. And if you as the builder are then taking off early of a morning, not coming home late till late at night, then that can be very difficult for that person to be managing on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, and it's not only that, it's the way people deal with them as well. Like, my wife was devastated when she first started out and we threw her in the deep end, because not only was I trying to get her up to speed, talk on the phone every spare minute I had, like she was helping out with contracts, she was helping me out with the pricing, she was chasing suppliers for quotes, helping me trying to schedule jobs, like just everything. A lot of it was stuff that I'm just no good at. Like, she's fantastic on computers and stuff, so it just made a lot more sense for her to do it. But she didn't know what to do, so that was really hard for her. But probably the worst part was the way that she got treated. Like, she didn't understand how the industry works. She didn't understand the lingo that gets used and all those types of things. And it was something that really opened my eyes up, because it wasn't actually her. It was also other women that I knew working in the industry. And it was funny when my wife started, because she started really connecting with we had a few female reps, and they were able to really hit it off, because the reps were feeling that they were getting treated the same way. My wife was sort of able to open up to them and say, hey, this is ridiculous how we get treated in this industry. And so a lot of things have come of that. But when your partner starts working in your industry, like you might be a tradie or wherever you've come from to become a builder, like you're used to being out on a job site, you're mucking around with the guys, you're getting to talk to other people, and all of a sudden you've thrown your wife in the family business. They're sitting at home in an office all alone. They've got all the pressure of not understanding what needs to be happening. They're trying to do their best. They're also probably dealing with kids and other family and the dinner and there's so much going on. And I think us as blokes, we just take it for granted. So don't make the mistakes I did. Like, value your partner's time, pay them a wage, appreciate everything they do, and a really important one, spend the time with them. Put in some time and effort and help them learn. And look, we did a few over the years where there was a few things that got complicated, and I actually didn't know enough about, so I couldn't teach her properly, and it kept creating these issues. So we looked into seminars and industry events, and that also started getting her more involved. And looking back now, at the end of the day, everyone looks at me and thinks, look at him, he's come from nowhere, he's got a fantastic business, it's all good for him. I can honestly sit here and tell you, I would not be in the position I'm in without my partner in the office. She's an incredibly valuable part of my life. She's an amazing value to our business, and she deserves to be rewarded for that.
Most definitely. And I think this is, inside Elevate, we have partners both turn up to the calls. It's fantastic because they're both learning together, and then they're able to support each other through the changes that they're making in their business. And that first one being making sure that the partner is actually earning a salary for the role that they're playing, so that the business can afford to have that role always, and that their time is also valued, and then they're also learning and growing together. So if you do have your partner working in your building business, really reflect on what we've discussed here. Duayne's shared a lot of personal experience from what he's learned over the years of having his wife join DP's Constructions, and it can be a really fantastic thing. You'll never get as much loyalty from an employee as you will from a partner. But you've got to make sure that you set it up right so that you can really create a fantastic business together.